So in this video clip, I want to introduce the Tidyverse page on Vinegar Hill Data Labs. So Tidyverse is really powerful library, mainly useful for visualization, data transformation. I put up on the portal here a few video clips, playlists. The second playlist runs a range of data transformation syntax that's available in R for data science. So we start by installing the Tidyverse onto RStudio, and I can show how we do that on Google Colab, and then run through mainly the dplyr syntax with the nycflights13 dataset, which is quite a sizable dataset with a large number of observations, not exactly big data in a conventional sense, but a very sizable data set that wouldn't be normally viewable through purely Excel. Each of the verbs here, each of the action words are described in the playlist, and I go through, and there's a few moments in each instance with explanation so that you can find. In addition, I've left a link here to a live Google Colaboratory. Normally, Google Colaboratory, the native code is Python, but you can run R. And if I just double click and get through, and we might go full screen on this, and we're connecting to the server, that might take a second. But to run the code, typically, you just need to load in this command, load ext, and then the R code can run. So we load that, we run that, execute that command. We can see what libraries are available already pre-installed. So if we run that, there's a range, and there's some interesting data sets, dev tools, and so on. So that's what maybe parsing through. Okay, and so there is some libraries normally available. It's worth checking out. But here I'm following basically the code that's available in this link. So the R for data science. So if we copy that, right, copy selection, come out, go into a new, paste and run. You can see where this takes us to, right? So I follow pretty much everything that's in the headings here and break it down. So that's available here in the Google Colab. I'll just run a few verbs here. Chances are that you don't have, well, I've already installed Tidyverse, so I just run, and typically Tibble, Tidyr, Reader, all those appear. But if you're coming to this for the first time, you really need to install packages. And we Tidyverse, and then run, and that will install the full suite, right? But I have it already installed here, so that command is not really important this time. But if you're coming to this for the first time, you may need to include in that command, right? And then it's just a question of running. So we have flights. Let's just see here, did that install? Let's just run again. And flights are typically available in the Tidyverse suite. So if I run again here, okay, so I should have made available library nycflights. Okay, so it's in the nyc. Okay, so let's run. So same thing as before. you may need to install the nycflights. Let's just run. Okay, so I need to install and now run. Okay, so that was important here. So the nycflights is a data set that was made available, I think, by Hadley Wickham specifically for the R for Data Science textbook and PDF file. And if we just run down through, so let's just see if we can now get a glimpse. Okay, so we get a tibble here. Another way of viewing the data is use the syntax glimpse. And basically, we can see what's contained in the data set. And if we look at the nycflights data, what we can observe is there were 336,776 flights, and then there's 19 columns of data covering different aspects of the flight. So the year, the month, the day, the departure time, the actual departure time, the scheduled departure time, the delay, departure delay, arrival time, scheduled arrival time, and so on, right? And we can take a look at the flights. And again, that just gives us another way of pulling up the data, how it would be organized in terms of the tibble. Again, year, month, day, departure time, so on, and the other columns are provided down below, and also some representation in terms of, is it an integer, is the data double, is it a character, and so on, right? Date and time. And again, we can use the same syntax as before. We can filter the flights, organized in terms of the month and day, where we just select out the data, the rows related to the first day of the first month, right? So again, everything is following consistently with what we had done in the portal page. More exhaustive type treatment is made available here, and in this instance I set up the videos here in RStudio. But if you were to use Google Colab, which is an alternative approach and allows you to use Python in addition to R, so you could use Python commands if necessary in the same project. Google Colaboratory offers some additional flexibility. Okay, so hopefully that is useful.